this is Simeon, and I'm so glad to be back with you to take you on another adventure into what I call Sampletekk land. And if you don't have any of Sampletekk's piano libraries, this might be the time to get on board. So the Vintage Keys bundle is a collection of 6 different vintage keyboards and processed in some different ways. So what's included, we have the Solina Mark II, which is an ARP String Synthesizer. We have the Pianet, which is a really wild, early electric piano from Hohner, the same company that makes the clavinet. And then we have the Wurlitzer, the tubed Wurli, which is a 200A Wurlitzer. And we have, what I'm playing now is the Mark I 73. And we have, of course, the clavinet, along with a Tonewheel organ. And then, so that it just gives you a little bit of everything to play with. So let's just take a look at the Mark I 73, the tubed keys. So as we look at this, all of these Sampletekk libraries, you need the full version of Kontakt to use these. And the interfaces are always just, they have a consistency to them. So if you've used some of Sampletekk's instruments before, this is not going to be new to you. So we have just a lot of different ways that we can change the sound of this piano. And so let's just kind of get into a different key. And we can turn the saturation on. And the thing is, you got to remember that that up in this case is off. So when we turn the controls on, the toggle switch is actually, and you hear that saturation. You can just dial that up. That brings a lot of grunge in. But some of my favorite controls are the chorus and phaser, and because instantly you just get that character. So here we go. I'm going to turn the chorus on. And that just brings it alive. And you can adjust the depth, so we can just make it really deep, and the speed, we can make it a little warbly. Maybe not that warbly, but that's so cool that you can adjust that. And you could just lay into it and get that bark. That's really nice. And then the phaser, we can kick on the phaser there. And phaser is a little different than chorus. It's just got a little different, And I like the touch sensitivity with this. So you can play it just kind of soft, and then you can bark it. So it just starts pulling you right in. And then we have, you've got the phaser, and then we've got reverb, and it's kind of neat to be able to put this in different spaces. And we've got different adjustments for size. We can make that size and shape the color. Just some really neat things. And you've got to remember that when you can customize these sounds, and then you can save them as snapshots. So this is done with this little camera icon here. When you click that, let's just do that real quick. So I'll kick the phaser on, and we'll just call it Phasey Rhodes. So I'll click on the floppy icon, and then let's just give this a name, Phasey Rhodes. We can say save, and then look what happens. It shows up in the snapshot presets. So that's a really cool way to save presets. Let's move on. Let's go on to the Solina Mark II. And this is an older string machine from ARP, the same people that made the ARP 2600. And so they created, it was the time when these came out, they were bringing out like string machines and that kind of thing to compete with the Mellotrons. And so it's really interesting. So what I've done here, I've loaded all of my Sampletekk instruments into the quick load area. So that way it makes it easy to get to. And I've got a vintage keys folder here. And let's load up the Solina. Really nice. So with this, we've got contrabass, cello, viola, violin, trumpet, and horn. And I'm just going to just turn these off. And again, you can see that you've got similar controls. The GUI is a little different, but the idea is still the same here. So here we go. Yeah, it's just a really fat sounding. Okay, now let's add the cello. And then when we've got them both together, of course they're going to overlap and layer a little bit. And viola. Yeah. Violin. Let's turn that on. Let's see. And this is dry. This is dry. So we're going to have some fun showing you some effects here. And the trumpet, I've turned the strings off so we can just hear the trumpet. It sort of sounds like the strings, but not sound like the strings at the same time. There's just a different quality to it. And now the horn, like a French horn. It's got that really cool vintage nasally sound. Now let's see. Let's just kind of layer up some of these. And I'm going to turn on the phaser. And listen to what that does instantly. Yeah, you get some crazy. And let's add some delay. So let's turn the fold back down a little bit. And you can kind of hear it going with the pan. And we've got an envelope control over here that we can use. If we wanted to come in, we can just make the attack really long. Now let's put the reverb on, and we can make that, we can put it in a really wild, large room. So there's a lot you can do with this. Just a lot you can do with this. Just some simple sounds, but you could just make them a lot of fun, pull a lot of fun out of them. So let's go to the Tonewheel. Just such a wonderful instrument. So let's drop this in. And it's like one manual. A lot of drawbar organs, they have upper, lower, and pedals. So this just gives you a single manual that you can mess with. So let's take a listen. Yeah. Just listen to that, just that. And I just got the 16 and the 2 2/3 pulled up. But, you know, I always think of Tonewheel organs as early additive synthesizers because basically you're just dealing with different levels of sine waves and you're just combining those and mixing those together. See? And then, of course, we've got the rotary speaker just on the mod wheel. And you hear that little bite, that little high-pitched attack. That's the percussion. So we can turn that volume up or turn it down. Because you just, so sometimes you just want just a little bit of that just to give it a little cut through. And we've got different vibrato. Let's turn the, and we can turn the rotary speaker all the way off so you can just have the straight organ. Yeah. That's fun. And then we can put the vibrato on to kind of give some, you know, before they had the Leslie, the rotating speaker, that's the only way we could get motion into these drawbar organs is with the vibrato. And we've got an amount, so we can just really make it vibrate, or we can just kind of make it more subtle. And then we've got like a limiter there, just kind of. Just kind of tame things a little bit. And the saturation, I'm gonna just pull all of these out here. And if you have a drawbar controller, I've got a D9X controller back here, and you can actually assign these. You can learn the MIDI automation to be able to use these drawbars in real time. So that's kind of a nice thing to be able to do. Yeah, now listen to how just. So that's how far it goes. So I'm wanting to go down here, but that's as far as it goes. Now let's see, let's pull this. And you can just shape that tone and again, save that as a snapshot and you'll be good to go. I'm gonna turn the rotary back on and listen to how instantly that just starts swirling that. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Now let's put some saturation in there and a little bit of reverb. We got a little spring reverb in there and we can just saturate this thing. Yeah. Yeah, that is just, and you can make it as grungy. Just saturate it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. That's wild. That's wild. So you can just have a lot of fun with that. So let's okay, so while we're kind of like in a crazy mood, let's move on to the clavinet. And so let me see. I'm going to go back to my quick load here. Let's load that clavinet in there. This is the clavinet. And just so much fun. Now let's see how far down this goes. Yeah, it goes down to this F here. And again, the same types of controls that we had before. Let's put on some distortion. We can drive that and change the little bit of dampening. And then we've got this hammerback volume, which is like the action. Now the clavinet is actually like a type of a harpsichord where you've got these plectrums that are actually just plucking those strings like that. That's what gives it such a distinctive sound. Now let's turn on the phaser. And we've got these switches here change the pickups. Different pickup patterns. So just like you would have on a guitar, it changes the tone a little bit. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I'm going to see if I can get a beat going here. Here we go. Yeah, it's just crazy. And those pickups kind of give you a nice variation. And you get that nice little kind of pop and reverb. So that's the Clav, the tube Clav, which is so cool. A lot of fun to play. So let's do the Wurlitzer, the tube Wurli. And this is another classic instrument that's defined just so much of our music history. Another different little interface, different but the same in some ways. So now this one, this has, let's see, we've got 16 velocity layers with these. So that gives you a lot of, so it just doesn't sound stale. You have that life and where you can take it soft and go all the way into the keyboard. So let's just see what this sounds like here. Yeah, you just hear that reed. And it's similar to a Rhodes, but not like a Rhodes. It's just got its own character. And let's see what we've got going on here. Yeah, we've still got saturation and delays, chorus, and let's put a little bit of chorus on there. Yeah. Yeah, listen to that. Let's see if we can hear those velocity layers. So it's just got a really interesting dynamic range in there. So let's turn on the phaser and a little reverb here. Stereo spread. Yeah. And let's turn on a little vibrato because that vibrato will just kind of let it just kind of go. It kind of sounds a little spacey. And let's slow the speed down just a little bit. Yeah. Isn't that fun? So that's the Wurlitzer. We're coming around the corner here. Let's take a look finally at the Pianet. And the Pianet is a really interesting instrument from the same company that created the clavinet gave us the Pianet. So let's pull this up. And this is a totally different experience from the other interfaces that we have here. Let's just kind of take a listen to what it sounds like. yeah, so the Pianet, you can hear a similarity to the Wurlitzer because it also used like a reed type of tone bar situation, but just with a little different application. So we can adjust volumes for like the key click, that's like a key release off the pickups there, and then the key releases, and then we've got like a little adjustment for the velocity sensitivity, the dynamic range here, and then we can turn different aspects of the cabinet on and off, which is kind of interesting. And of course, we've got the phaser that I've just been really enjoying listening to. And I just like that real nice sweeping, it's just lush. There we go. And now let's turn on the chorus. And chorus is again, it has just a different and we can control the rate and the depth, of course. And now this is kind of interesting, the stereo tremolo. Now let's slow the rate down. And what this does, this just kind of pushes it around the stereo field a little bit, just kind of panning it back and forth. And I like combining effects together. So that's a little adventure, if you will, into the Vintage Keys bundle. And again, this is Simeon, and make sure you check out all the links in the description for more information on this amazing collection of vintage keys. You'll have a lot of fun. So this is Simeon. Stay joyful, and we'll see you next time.